Hi everyone. Thank you everyone for participating in this historical moment in our movement. My name is Vick Chung. I use they them pronouns. And as part of the successful progressive campaign in November 2022, I, Anita Martinez, and Susan Solomon joined the City College Board, and I am running on the Labor and Working Family slate for the Democratic County Central Committee, in part to support community leaders like Ryan Khojasteh. We're all here because we know that once a majority of San Francisco voters get to know Ryan, they will come to realize he is the district attorney that we need and deserve. As people of color, we are particularly impacted by systemic violence and the cycle of violence. Both Ryan and I are a child of refugees, and we have inherited transgenerational trauma of state-sanctioned violence, and we are members of communities where our carceral and policing system has been misused to cause more harm in our communities or have re-traumatized victims in a manner with which they have or have not responded. But it takes courage and compassion to take that pain and choose to change our system from within. And it takes clarity and resolve to unyieldingly fight for transformative change so our communities most impacted by violence may heal, prosper, and make a better way on safety. And Ryan Khojasteh, through serving as a community leader in various capacities, has consistently shown us his courage, compassion, clarity, and resolve to actively break the cycle of violence and deliver social justice. And I know he will work in partnership with the Public Defender's Office, City College, and other social institutions to deliver on this vision. Ryan Khojasteh is the district attorney we need and deserve. And it is my honor to welcome our next speaker, who needs no introduction, our former senator and assembly member, and our local San Francisco's former supervisor, Mark Leno.
Well, welcome everyone to this really joyful occasion and an exciting day for San Francisco. And we thank you for your beautiful words, really inspiring. I am Mark Leno, and I have the great privilege to serve San Francisco for 18 years as county supervisor and state assemblyman and then state senator. I have lived in San Francisco now over 47 years, and I've experienced quite a number of changes in that time. I don't think it will surprise you to hear me say that the city has faced more crises, challenges, and uncertainties today than in any time that I have lived here. From the misery on our streets to the record number of overdose deaths to our struggling neighborhoods and their small businesses, San Franciscans do not feel safe. But I'm ever hopeful. I'm here today, excited, impassioned, and inspired to introduce an individual who is perfectly prepared to be San Francisco's next district attorney. Ryan Khojasteh is a career prosecutor who has dedicated his life to public service with a commitment to our community's safety. Ryan will responsibly pursue a better way to public safety. He has successfully prosecuted misdemeanors, felonies, and juvenile delinquency cases. He's worked in the collaborative and treatment courts and he's won over $1 million in restitution for crime victims. Having recently gotten to know Ryan, I am supremely confident that he will restore the district attorney's office with integrity, trustworthiness, and professionalism. Ryan is a prosecutor with a moral compass and a social conscience. Our beloved and beleaguered city has rarely been in greater need of both. Ryan has never had allegations or sustained allegations of prosecutorial misconduct or improperly shared a defendant's rap sheet or withheld evidence at a murder trial. We need responsible leadership that will prioritize public safety over political ideology and personal ambition. This has seriously affected the stability and functioning of our district attorney's office. In addition to the mass firings, over 60 people have resigned in the last 18 months. Career prosecutors have left this office citing mismanagement and a hostile work environment. This harms victims and our pursuit of justice. It is with great honor and pleasure and respect that I introduce San Francisco's next district attorney, Ryan Khojasteh.
I am so thankful to Mark for his kind words. I see him as a person of the highest integrity in public service. So it means so much to me to have your support, so thank you. Great pleasure. And I'm so grateful to you, Vick. You inspire me as the next generation of San Francisco leadership. So I thank you for being here and for your kind words. And Jack Jackwah couldn't be with us as he was feeling unwell, but he's here with us in spirit, and his support means the world to me. I want to thank everybody here. I'm sure there are so many things you could be doing on a Friday afternoon. So for you to be here with me at City Hall for this important announcement is such a blessing. So thank you. There's so many new faces as well, people that I don't know, and that makes me equally as excited. And I want to thank members of the media for being here as well. I believe it is so important for those of us in public service to have a strong and accessible relationship to members of the press and journalists. So thank you, it means a lot to me to have you here. My name is Ryan Khojasteh, and I am a proud San Francisco resident. I live in the Richmond district, and I've lived in many different neighborhoods here in San Francisco. I have strong roots here in this city. I went to law school right across the street at UC Law San Francisco, formerly UC Hastings. And I've served this city as an assistant district attorney and a 6-year member of the San Francisco Immigrant Rights Commission. I am committed to San Francisco's success. And today, I'm very excited, very grateful, very honored to announce that I will be running to be San Francisco's next district attorney. Because I believe there is a better way on safety. I am frustrated and concerned with the direction San Francisco is heading in. I have spent the last 8 months talking to members of our community, and the consensus is that people feel less safe. Violent crime continues to rise. There have been an explosion of robberies causing worry throughout our neighborhoods. At the beginning of APEC, Czech reporters were robbed of their camera equipment at gunpoint. This happened even when our city was supposed to be its safest. And now there are cars crashing into buildings and stealing ATMs. Just two happened recently in my neighborhood in the quiet Richmond district. At the CVS I shop at on Clement and the Bank of America on Balboa. I have never heard of this happen before. We are also in the midst of a serious and urgent drug epidemic. Last year, San Francisco had the highest number of overdoses in the history of our city. We lost 806 people to fatal overdose, and this is deeply tragic. That means at least 2 people a day in our city have died. And we have a homelessness crisis with desperation and the suffering of human beings visible all the time. This is unacceptable. Most people aren't even reporting property crime anymore. They've given up on contacting the police. Organized retail theft still exists. Auto burglaries are as prevalent as ever, and open-air drug markets have not disappeared. Businesses are suffering and closing down. We have many empty storefronts throughout San Francisco. Residents, commuters, and tourists are fed up, as am I, as I'm sure many of you are. There has to be a better way. Brooke Jenkins herself promised that if we recalled the last DA, everything would get better. Now, under her leadership, everything has gotten worse. This city is demonstrably less safe, both from a feeling standpoint and from a factual standpoint. This district attorney's administration has failed the people of San Francisco, and we simply cannot afford 4 more years. Today, with all of you, I am hopeful, because I know that better days are ahead for our city. I am running to bring a better approach to public safety, an approach of balancing accountability and rehabilitation, of equally prioritizing reactive measures and proactive measures to reduce crime. Let me be clear, crime is unacceptable. My family has been affected by crime. I lost my uncle to gun violence. He was murdered on February 4th, 1996. And we don't have a lot of family that live in the United States. He was our closest relative at the time, and his murder was devastating. It was also preventable. My family and I care about public safety. We care about supporting victims of crime. I have done that work. I have prosecuted violent crime here at the Hall of Justice. I have kept people in custody, and I have personally held the hands of victims as I walk with them up to the witness stand to testify. I also understand the importance of working hard to stop the pipeline to prison for our youth. 2 young people killed my uncle. They were 20 and 21 years old. I worked for 2 years here at Juvenile Hall in San Francisco to make sure our troubled youth in our city were supported and rehabilitated so they did not graduate to adult-level criminal activity. We worked collaboratively with many different partners to meaningfully intervene in kids' lives, and it worked. Crime went down. I want to make sure kids in our juvenile justice system do not grow up to kill someone's family member. I helped put kids on a better path in this city. I wanted the DA's office to continue that work under Brooke Jenkins. I advocated to continue these collaborative programs. Supporting kids early on before it's too late is good for public safety. My passion from that work stems from my family tragedy. Instead, Brooke Jenkins fired me from my job and immediately began to dismantle these programs. I didn't know that common sense was a fireable offense. Now violent crime has risen and kids are committing more crime. Juvenile Hall's population has tripled. There have been massive fights in Stonestown's mall, overwhelming security, a spree of cell phone robberies targeting women and mothers in Noe Valley, and a few weeks ago, an Asian woman was attacked by 4 teens in Soma. A better approach to public safety requires a balance, working to hold people accountable while also working to make sure we prevent crime in the long run. I support a strong, responsible, and community-driven police department. I support strong and ethical prosecutions. I believe in incarceration for repeat offenders and those who commit acts of violence in our community. At the same time, we must have the same and equal commitment to pursuing and expanding preventative measures to reduce crime. We need to invest resources in residential treatment for mental health disorders and substance abuse disorders. We need to get more, better, and safer shelter space in the city to bring our homeless inside and off our streets. We need to get more transitional housing programs and more affordable housing. We should be committing ourselves to strengthening educational opportunities, job opportunities, union apprenticeships. We need more mentorship opportunities, youth guidance, and violence intervention programs. The DA's office cannot be successful in isolation, surrounded only by political allies. There's a reason over 60 people have resigned from the DA's office in a year and a half, including victim advocates I worked with and many career prosecutors that I learned from. When cases are shuffled around and there's a lack of continuity, this harms the public. We must collaborate and build partnerships with everybody. We must seek solutions together, not scapegoats. That's a better way. We should not be blaming judges for following the law for the challenges that San Francisco faces. This is a city of innovation. We have always looked forward. We are the center of technology and industry. We have a history of being on the right side of issues. Let's not forget this is the city of Harvey Milk. Instead, Brooke Jenkins has brought us back to the past, revived the failed war on drugs. 806 people in our city died of fatal overdose. Using our criminal legal system as the primary means of solving a public health emergency is irresponsible and has never worked in our country. We know this, the evidence has shown this, and now the state of our streets is the worst that it's ever been. We need to stop playing politics and follow the science. I want to be a responsible and moderating voice in this sea of toxic politics. I want my city to be the safest it can be for everyone. And I understand that can only happen if we work together. We know that's a better way. I commit to campaign as I plan to govern, to be accessible, to be transparent, and to be community-driven. I hope to build trust with all of our communities, including our monolingual communities. I want to be a DA for everyone. And lastly, I will end with this. Brooke Jenkins, I directly challenge you to a series of debates. The public deserves answers, and I look forward to engaging in a robust and fruitful discussion on whose vision is better for the safety of our city. Thank you, everybody. It is such an honor to be here today. It is a blessing. This is such an incredible turnout of people from all different phases of my life, and I look forward, with all of your help, to winning this election on November 5th to be San Francisco.